Start recording?
Correct. Start recording.
Okay. That's all going. We're live on YouTube.
Perfect. YouTube in the
Going
house.
live on TikTok.
TikTok in the house.
We are live on TikTok. Lee, where are you? We can't even see you on the screens.
I'm at the airport, yo.
Dude, what are you doing at the airport?
Today's a big day. It's a big day because we are Fed is meeting at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which is 11 o'clock Pacific time. And that's when we find out whether or not they're increasing the rates not.
That's why you're at the airport?
Yeah, I'm going to my other house in Texas.
You're gonna get the information firsthand?
Yeah, where I'm headed to. My primary residence is in Texas. I fly back and forth often, and I'm on my way back to Texas right now.
I was joking. I was just saying that you were going to get the numbers from the feds.
Relax. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna run up to the Fed. I'm gonna say, "Hey, what is the numbers like?"
All right, everybody in TikTok world, Facebook world, YouTube world, internet world. It's Chris and Lee back at it again. I'm Chris. That's Lee up there. You guys can see him. You guys can probably hear him. Say hi, Lee.
What's up, everybody?
Tell her the
Today
millions.
We are at the airport. The millions and billions of people.
Millions and billions of fans. You can't disappoint the fans, Lee. When it comes to the fans, you got to give them what they're asking for. You know what they're asking for?
Dude, what are they asking for?
They want to know what you're going to do with the Fed, man. What, you going to bring the rates down or what?
What are we going to do with the Fed? With the rates, well, for a while we thought it was going to go up. We thought they were going to go up 25 basis points.
Yeah.
However, as the new news has come in, it turns out that there's a 98% chance that everything stays just the way it was. So that's good news. It means that we get stability in the market, and because there's stability in the market, we actually have the ability for rates to start going down even more.
Yeah.
So this is all good news.
That is good news. That's great news.
Can you tell us what you do? We are loan officers. We help people get into their first house. I just pulled me up on the iPad. I can see what everybody is seeing.
Sweet. Yeah, what are the questions, man?
I haven't logged in 3 days. Dude, somebody hasn't logged in 3 days.
Why not, man?
You need your Chris Lee fix. You need to know what's going on in the world.
Heck yeah.
What's happening.
He hasn't logged in 3 days. Is he okay?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Check. We need to refocus those cameras so that we're looking at the cameras when we're reading.
Well, that's a little impossible.
At the moment. It is, but later it won't be. We'll just put a pad up for the so we can see everything, and we'll do it from there.
Yeah.
But anyway, interest rates are 5.75 again, right? On the website, I pulled it up this morning. It was changed.
Yep.
It has changed.
Nope. 5.75. 5.75 for FHA, VA, 15-year, and 6.25 for 30-year.
Yeah, that's what they're quoting is the best case scenario, and that is with like 40% down, 24% DTI, 800 plus FICO score. For most people that I'm quoting lately, I'm in the sevens. Sometimes I hit high sixes. How about you?
Yeah, same. Most people are getting not the best case scenario, of course. But when it comes to mortgages, guys, the interest rates that you're getting are the interest rates that is best case scenario. So the best DTI, the best credit score, the best loan to value, all that stuff, and that's how we come up with rates. So when you're talking with loan officers or a bank, they never give you the worst rate of the day. They always give you the best rate of the day. Does that mean that the borrowers are going to get that rate? Not necessarily. Could they? Maybe. But the truth is, most people are going to be a version of their own file. So whatever their rate is. Now, when their rate comes in, probably going to be a little bit higher because it's probably going to be a first-time home buyer. That's a majority of buyers. It's probably going to be someone a little younger, probably has challenges, maybe doesn't have the most amount of money. Now, that there are the anomalies. There are the people who come in very young with great credit, great assets, great income, knock it out of the park. But for the majority, just for the majority, it's going to be a little bit higher than what you see online. Just going to be a little bit higher.
Well, like anything, they quote the best that they can give.
Yeah.
And that's, it's kind of like the grocery store that does a loss leader. And they say, hey, this is the best deal you get on eggs anywhere in the city. But the rest of the grocery store is kind of expensive. And Same thing happens in the mortgage business. They're like, hey, this is the best rate you could possibly get if you put 40% down and you have an 800 FICO score and you're 24 DTI, which is very rare. But it happens, and if you do that, that's a great rate for you.
So you answered Blue's question?
Yeah, what we do, we're loan officers. We help people get houses all across the country. We're really good. We use the down payment assistance programs a lot. Sometimes we, like the Dream for All has just been renewed for $200 million in the state of California. And we also find the programs in your state to see how we can do things in your state.
Yep, that's it. So if you're looking to get pre-qualified, not looking to get pre-qualified, if you ever want to buy a house, if you're watching right now and you're thinking, hey, one day I would like to be a homeowner, what you need to do is you need to reach out to us. We're going to do some math. We're going to pull your credit. We're going to see where you stand. And based on that, you'll know if you can buy a house or not. And if there's a reason why you cannot buy a house, we'll teach you how to solve that problem. And if you can buy a house, you go shopping if you choose to. So that's kind of what we do. And then we talk about politics, and then we talk about Lee's ugly shirts and other things. What shirt are you wearing today, man? Is that Johnny Cash?
No, this is Luke Combs, man. One of my favorite singers right now.
What?
Luke Combs is pretty badass. Yeah, I saw him in concert. I thought
You like him better than Taylor Swift?
I've never seen Taylor Swift in concert. I'll tell you what, the frenzy around Taylor Swift is crazy.
Taylor Swift's
It's just crazy.
the biggest thing since Elvis.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
Yeah. Can you hear the announcements over the top right now?
Of course I can, man. Of course I can. We all know you're going to TJ.
Yeah, TJ. That's right.
One-way ticket to TJ. TJ's fun. I like TJ.
Nah, good.
I can't finance
so tell me,
TJ.
what have you learned?
I can't do loans in TJ.
Yep.
I tried. Came up short.
You tried. Don't allow Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, now Blue Sky to TJ.
Well, all the borrowers were like, hey, where am I going to get a house for $120,000? And I was like, try TJ. So they did.
That didn't go?
No, they found a house. You just can't finance there.
Okay.
The El Chapo won't let us.
Okay.
We tried, man. What can I say? All right, Terry. It's Terry that hasn't logged in 3 days. What has she missed? And then Wreckage. What's up, Wreckage? Good morning. So you can see us on the feed, right? You can see us on your another feed that you're watching?
Okay. All right.
I can hear someone talking in the background and not you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. All right, guys. Where you guys at? Tell us where you're at. City, state.
Thank you. I will tell Alex that's what we did.
That lady's going to tell Alex. I don't know what she's going to tell Alex, but she's going to tell him. She's going to tell him that he's going to get a house.
Yeah, you need a house. Alex actually a flipper. I know Alex.
Yeah? I have a question. Is wholesaling real estate good to get into? That's what Wreckage is asking. Is wholesaling real estate good to get into? You want me to answer that, Lee, or do you want to answer it?
You take it.
Okay. So wholesaling is a very popular way to make money by not holding any real estate licenses, by not having any liability, by not really being involved in a transaction at all, except for the fact of introducing those that want to sell to those that want to deal. Okay? So it is a very loose position in real estate. It's probably one of the biggest seminar sellers when it comes to real estate. So you might get a mailer, you might see something on TV or hear it on the radio, make millions in real estate without getting a real estate license and yada, 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 yada. So from that perspective, pretty cool, because there's a lot of people in the nation that have had professional licenses in their career, whether it be an insurance license, attorney, doctor, real estate, mortgage, many different licenses, okay? And if they, for whatever reason, cannot get one of those licenses, and there's a lot of reasons why you can't, they can still wholesale. So they can still be part of a transaction and not necessarily be the professional behind it. But what they're going to do is they're going to find, like, let's say a distressed property, okay? You find a distressed property, looks like it's falling apart. Maybe someone hasn't lived there in a few years because someone passed away, and then you find out who owns that house, and you say, "Hey, guy, you thinking about selling it, maybe?" And he's like, "You know what? I am trying to get rid of it. And, you know anybody that could buy it?" And that person will go to an investor and then marry those two together and make a percentage. Okay, 1%, 2%, 3%. So there is a possibility to make money there, and like I said, probably one of the most popular when it comes to selling seminars, and they want to sell you other packages. So as a full-rounded pro, probably not. But as a way to make money in real estate, it absolutely is. A lot of people do it. I don't know if they're successful at it, but a lot of people do it. Anything else, Lee?
It's kind of a unicorn. Yeah, it's kind of a unicorn. If you can actually pull it off, it's a cool thing.
Mm-hmm.
But the truth is, most people can't pull it off because it's such a strange, unique situation. Like, for instance, a lot of people think they can get into investing by finding a 4-unit and using the 3 rentals in order to qualify for the loan. And the truth is, it does work. That's if you can find it.
Another unicorn.
But trying to find it is very, 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 very difficult.
Yeah.
And wholesaling, you're trying to find somebody who's selling their property below market, and then they're willing to lock up in contract, and then you can actually give that contract to somebody else, and you have the access to the people with money. So this is usually such a distressed borrower or seller. I'm sorry, it's such a distressed seller that it's such an anomaly. But when it does work, you make a lot of money.
Yeah. I mean, so when you hear something for the first time, like, "Hey, did you know you can buy a house with putting a little bit of money down and renting units, buying up to 4 of them?" Like, when you first hear that, you're like, "Holy cow, that's a way to get rich. Why aren't more people doing that?" Or like what Wreckage just brought up. Very good question, Wreckage. When I first heard about wholesaling, I had that same idea. I'm like, holy cow, there's a lot of money to be made. Yeah, people that have garbage properties want to sell them, and there's always someone that wants to buy them. How hard could it be to identify those and marry them up? And it's difficult. It's very difficult. Not easy, very difficult. That being said, it is a possibility to make a lot of money doing it. But when I first heard it, I thought, holy cow, this is next level. And I think I went to a seminar on it. I actually went to like one of those where they say, "Hey, free, come join us at the Green Tree Motel or Hotel or whatever it is." Mm-hmm. And then you go in there and there's 100 other people and they do a great presentation. And then at the end of it, they're like, for only $100, you can get this. And then for $500, you can get this. And you buy one of them. And then you go to that thing, and they're like, for $1,000, you get this. For $5,000, you get this. And then you go to them, and then they say, for $10,000. And it just keeps going and going until you spend all your money, and you're no longer in real estate, and you're back to working at Stater Brothers.
Yeah, that's the cycle. It really is. You see young people who barely learn about real estate, that's usually where they head first. They're like, "Hey, I can do this with no money?" And the answer isn't no, you can't. But it is like, "Hey, if I won the lottery, you mean I never have to work again?" I'm like, well, that is true. It is true. But the odds on you winning the lottery are pretty darn bad. They're not the greatest odds in the world. And the odds on you finding that fourplex where you can get 3 people to rent and then you purchase the 1 unit, they're not as bad as the lottery, but they're difficult. It is a difficult situation, no doubt about it.
Mm-hmm. And Blue, it's not a scam. It's not a scam. All wholesaling means is that you're a middleman. So you find the seller, you find the buyer, you marry them up. There's a real transaction happening, and you charge a fee to marry them up. You're likely going to charge a fee to the buyer, okay? Because he's looking for a deal. He's probably going to flip that house or rent it out, make a lot of money. So he or she will pay that fee. So it's not a scam, just difficult and different. Very popular though, very popular throughout the nation. All right, got a couple of questions here. Let me see what we got going. We got Precision Dave send us an email. Precision Dave, do me a favor and send either Chris or Lee or myself a text message, either one of those numbers. Text your full name, and we'll make sure that your file is being worked on, okay? So thank you for that.
Send it to Chris because Lee's in the airport right now.
And for whatever reason, his phone doesn't work, but he's on Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like when the astronauts went to the moon and their cameras were able to stream seamlessly without any issues in outer space, but I can barely get a clear zoom from Lee, who's down the street. Literally down the street. Are you in Ontario?
I'm in Ontario. Right
Dude,
now.
you're down the street.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to load up here. You got me for about 2 more minutes, and then we gotta get going.
Guys.
The Fed's gonna be speaking in about 30 minutes, and maybe we'll go live a little bit later when I'm in Texas.
Guys, I'm sorry you heard that first. You only got 2 more minutes with this guy. 2 more minutes. I know you guys are sad. I know it's not going to be the best day of your life, but he'll be back. Don't worry. So, Prediction Dave, send me that text message. That's okay. I'm the one right there that says Chris. Okay, now, Fat Joe Skinny Prices. I had a family with 566 approved and 5%. They backed out because they would have to pay $450,000 over 25 years. How do you overcome those objections, he asks. So, here's the deal, man. Here's the deal. It's pretty simple. So most people are renting, okay? Most people are renting, whether it's $1,000 a month or $5,000 a month. Most people are renting, okay? So let's just say that they're making a $2,000 a month rent payment, and then their mortgage payment's going to be $2,500 a month, okay? So it's actually $500 more of what they're going to pay for their mortgage than what they pay for rent, okay? Here's the truth of it. Of that $24,000 that they're going to pay in rent, 0 of that is tax deductible. 0. They get nothing back. You know who gets that deduction? Their landlord. Their landlord's having them pay the mortgage and then taking deduction on the other side, getting rich off of them. Share that information. Then tell them that their interest on their mortgage, and everybody, interest is higher right now than it's been in the past 10 years. Okay, so what that means is that interest is tax deductible, which means that you get an even bigger tax deduction when the rates are higher. So that being said, that homeowner will have more money in their pocket at the end of the year, although they're paying a higher mortgage payment. So the question is, do you want more money at the end of the year or less money at the end of the year? And they're going to say more. Then you say you're buying a house.
Or another way you could handle it is to tell them $3,000 a month times 12 months is $36,000. So you'll pay $36,000 times 10 years is $360,000. Times 3, because there's 30 years in the contract, is a little bit over $1 million. So you can give $1 million and absolutely own nothing, or you can own your house and pay $500,000 in interest, because that's kind of how it works. You choose.
Yep.
You're going to do one of the two, no doubt about it.
And not just that, when it comes to buying a house, you can't make anybody buy a house. There's so many steps they have to go through, so many hurdles they have to jump. So if you had a very, very, very lazy horse and you wanted him to race, he ain't winning. He is not winning. Same thing with people.
He's not going to win any races.
No. Same.
Hey, I got to get going. I will check in with you a little bit later after the Fed talks.
Have a safe flight, man.
We'll see where we go.
Everybody, millions and millions of people, tell Lee bye.
Right. Bye, everybody. Bye.
So once again, you can't make anybody, hey, look, it's my thing. You can't make anybody buy a house, okay? You can only lead them to water and hope they drink. And that goes for all of you guys, too. How many times have you heard me say, get pre-qualified? And most of you don't. Now, most of you might just be looking for information. Most of you might find this entertaining, so you're not even worried about buying a house. And that's cool, too, because all you're going to get is a bunch of facts and data about real estate and mortgages of what's happening in the economy, and maybe get a cool joke here and there. So you don't have to buy a house. But I know most of you, in your brain, whether you own a house already or not, are thinking, I would like to have a house. Whether it be a second home, a vacation home, a rental home, or your first home. I'm sure most of you have that thought process. But how are you ever going to know if you can buy a house unless you actually took the steps of getting pre-qualified? So what that means is it's called 2x4. It's like a 2x4. You know, 2x4? Piece of wood. So it's 4 items and you need 2 of each. First, you need 2 years of work history. Then you need to give me your 2 last W-2s, which should be from 22 and 21. Your 2 last paycheck stubs. Your 2 last bank statements. And 2 last years of taxes. 2x4. Once you turn in those items, we get to work. We can let you know exactly where you stand. If we're missing any of those items, we might have to send a message and let you know if we need something else, something extra. But with that, we'll absolutely be able to let you know where you stand. Okay, let's see what else we got here, guys. Got some pretty good activity. All right, Precision Dave. We'll see you later, bud. You're welcome for the help. Always here. Fat Joe, 182,000. Yeah, I mean, double it. Whatever the amount of money you're borrowing, easy round number is double it. That's how much you're going to pay at the end of the term. And, you know, it's probably more, but most people are going to refinance out before that. That's another thing, guys. So back to you. Who is that? Precision Dave? No, Fat Joe. Back to you, Fat Joe. You, when you're buying a house, okay, you're going to buy it at a price. Now, the goal is to get that price down as low as you can. Depending on the market, depending on the community, depending on the property, you can only go down so far, okay? But then you lock in at the, once again, you're trying to get the lowest rate, so you lock in at the lowest, and that'll give you your best turnout for the payment, okay? So best price, best rate, best turnout for the payment. Now, a year goes by. Now we're at December 2023. A year goes by. December 2024. According to the experts, according to Barry Habib, who is the loan mortgage guru, according to a lot of the economists out there, we follow a lot of people, we listen to a lot of data, and these guys are top notch. They are saying that by the end of next year, fourth quarter, rates should be in a beautiful environment. So you buy the house now, and then a year from now, you refinance, which means you're going to redo that loan at a much lower interest rate, which gives you a much lower payment. So now you've effectively done two things. One, you bought the house at the lowest price. And two, you locked in the lowest rate a year later, so you get the best of both worlds. What most people are going to do is they're going to wait until that rate goes all the way down to where they think the bottom is. And you never know where the bottom is until it starts going up again, guys. So they're going to think the bottom's there, but it's going to do this. Beep. All the while, prices are going to do this. So will they get that 2 to 3% rate that we had back in 2021, 2020? No, probably not. Probably not going to come back. We'll probably never see that in our lives again. If we do, we'll be very blessed, but I don't think we will. But we are likely to see 4s. We're likely to see 5s. So you're going to float down to a 4. It's going to bounce to a 5, and then you're going to buy that property that's probably going to be valued at 25% more than when it's valued today. Bad position in finance. That is not a great way to strategize. Now, here's the truth. If you're going to live in the house, if you're not going to rent it, if you're going to raise your kids there, if that's going to be your plan to be your forever home. You know, a lot of people have changes when time comes, but plan it to be your forever home. Then don't worry about the price. Don't worry about getting a deal. Don't worry about timing it perfectly. Because if you live in the house, in 10 years, it's going to be worth more. 20 years, it's going to be worth more. So if you're looking at value or going upside down or trying to catch the crash that's not going to happen, don't worry about it. Especially if you're going to live in the house, guys. Because if you bought a house in 2007 at the peak of the market, and then your house crashed in 2008, if you still own that home today, you have equity. Your house is worth way more than what you bought it for in 2007. Way more. You have a ton of equity. So if you're concerned about equity, don't be, especially if you're going to live in the house. Let me get back to some more questions. You got it, Fat Joe? Anytime. We're here to help. Wreckage. I want to sign up for the side hustle. I was wondering when I sign up, what's the next step after? Good question, Wreckage. Do I give you guys a call? You absolutely can. So, Wreckage, go ahead and shoot us a text message. Give us a call. Let us know side hustle. Send us a text message right now and say side hustle. We'll give you a call. Text me, actually, on the one in the bottom. And I'll give you the skinny on it. I'll let you know what's good and how to do it and what the next steps are. Fat Joe, I'm a rep for manufactured homes. Thirsty for knowledge. Good stuff, man. I love it. So manufactured homes, just so you guys know, as long as you're buying the land with it, we can finance it. So there's a couple of steps to it. Manufactured homes, for financing of mortgages, they have to be built after June 1976. They have to be affixed to the earth via a mechanism called permanent foundation. So literally, you're taking steel, grabbing the bottom of this unit, and mounting it to the earth. So now it's permanent. You can't just hook up a F-250 to the back of it and drive it off. That's what a mobile home is. Manufactured homes are a little different. And As long as you're buying the land, we can go ahead and we can finance that for you. Absolutely. We can go FHA, we can go conventional, a lot of different routes. Now, if it's in a park, if it's in a mobile home park, a lot of times these parks, you don't buy the land. So when you don't buy the land, you're renting the land. We cannot finance that because you're not buying real estate. It's literally not attached to the earth. So it's mobile. You can take it wherever you want. And you're paying space rent, so you're not buying the land. So not financeable in real estate. I gave him the chart for one extra payment a year, knocking it off for 7 years. Good job. Yeah. So if you guys, paying off your mortgage faster is a thing. It absolutely is a thing. So a lot of people call me and they ask me for 15-year mortgages, and they don't necessarily like that your payment's going to go up a pretty significant amount. Because you think about it, if you owe this much money over 30 years, the payment's going to be so high. But if you want to squeeze that payment down to 15 years, your payment's going to go up a lot more, probably 1.5 times, okay? Maybe even more than that. So if you don't want a permanent large payment, a strategy is to stick to a 30-year payment, okay, and make extra payments to the principal of your mortgage. And there's actually calculators online where you can figure this out. If you wanted to pay your house off in 25 years, 20 years, 15 years, 10 years, however fast you want to pay off your house, it'll let you know exactly how to do it down to the dollar that you need to pay. Now, here's how you do it. So you make your mortgage payment. Let's say your mortgage payment is $4,000 a month. Okay, send that payment in. Bam! That's your regular mortgage payment. Principal, interest, taxes, insurance. And then now you want to pay it off faster. So you figure out how much that amount is. Let's say it's an extra $500 a month. Now you make a second payment that month to principal only, and then it'll knock that thing down to that term that you're looking for. 10 years, 15 years, 5 years, however long you're looking for. Now here's the really cool thing. Because you didn't get locked into a 15-year mortgage, if things get hard, if finances get tough, you can just bounce right back to that 30-year fixed payment and just make that one. You didn't lock yourself into a larger payment for doing it for 15 years. Now, there's no right or wrong way. There's no good or bad. There's none of that. And when it comes to finance, it's either appropriate for you or it's not appropriate for you. A lot of people want to talk about the good and bad. A lot of people want to be the Republican Democrat. They want to be the Raiders Cowboys. Forget all that. Forget all that. That team stuff doesn't work when it comes to finance. If it's appropriate for you, cool. If it's not appropriate for you, cool. That's finance. So if you're 100 years old, should you be investing your money in very high-risk stocks where you could lose it all? Probably not. If you're 20 years old, could you invest your money in high-risk stocks and lose it all? Sure. Why? Because if you lose it, you got a lot of time ahead of you where you can make that money up. So once again, there's no right or wrong, good or bad. It's either appropriate for you or not appropriate for you. And that goes for all financing for the most part. My screen's doing stuff over here. Okay, a couple more questions. Let's see what we got here, guys. When is a business loan smart? Okay, good question. So in business, one of the hardest things to accomplish is positive cash flow. Okay, positive cash flow. And to get to positive cash flow is a very long, hard, grueling process depending on the business. So depending on your business plan as to when you'll have positive cash flow, that's where the loans come in. That's where the business loans come in. So kind of a bridge, kind of just getting you from A to B or A to Z or however long it takes you to get there. So, and it depends on the business. So once again, no right or wrong answer, no good or bad. It's either appropriate for you or not appropriate for you. As far as business loans though, I don't do them. I don't know what the rates are. I don't know how to get them. I don't know what the qualification is. Jennifer Marie, what is the best loan to take out for a second home mortgage? Well, Jennifer Marie, if you're buying a second home, there's only a handful of ways to go. There's not a whole lot of routes you can go. The most popular is your conventional Fannie Freddie 10% down. That's your most popular, in my opinion. A lot of different people have different borrowers out there. Maybe loan officers only deal with multimillionaires and they're all putting 50% down or whatever the case may be. But what I see is the most popular is 10% down for a second home. Second home, what does that mean? It means you own a home already and that's your primary. Or you live in a primary. You could be renting. You could live with your mom. That's your primary. Second home means you're not going to live in it primarily. It means that you are going to visit it. It means that you may never even go to it. It means that it might be a summer house. It's your second home. It's not your primary, okay? So if you're going to a second home, 10% down. That's your minimum down payment. You can put more down if you choose. Yes, it will have mortgage insurance. Yes, the mortgage insurance can fall off because you're going conventional, Fannie Freddie, but that's going to be your most popular. But the truth is, to know what you qualify for, is you're going to need to call Chris or Lee so we can figure out where you stand, and if you want to buy a house, what range you're going to be shopping in. Okay. Okay, what's the business loan? Next question. Let's see what else we got here, guys. Shoot them in. We're going to be leaving pretty soon, so shoot in your questions. All right, Wreckage, looking out for your call, man. Or your text message, whatever route you want to go. But when it comes to mortgages, guys, it's not hard. What is up, Kip Shelton? So, just so you guys know, we're multicasting. So we're all over the internet right now. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we're online, we're on Mars, we're on Jupiter. We're all over the place. So if you guys want to see us, all you got to do is look. And we're going to be right there. Just know that. Kip Shelton asking, what do you think about Hunter Biden's press conference? I didn't see his press conference, but I am very upset about this matter and very upset about the whole situation. And did you guys know, okay, I didn't know this. This is news to me, guys. Joe Biden was previously married. I forget the woman's name, but Joe Biden was previously married years ago. And in 1971, I believe, his wife and one of his kids, he has 3 kids at this time, one of those was Hunter Biden, his wife and one of his kids passed away in a car accident, horrible car accident. Both of them died. So now it's like 1971, 1972, and it's just Hunter Biden, his dad, and I think one other sibling that's older than Hunter. Then in 1977, he married his current wife, Jill. And they had one more kid, I think. And then in 2015, Hunter Biden's son passed away. Another son. So Joe Biden's son passed away. It's another son. And that other son died of like a brain injury or something like that. So Hunter Biden there's 3 of them. He had 2 siblings. They both passed away. He still has a sibling from his dad and Jill, but from the original marriage, from his mom, from Hunter Biden's mom, all his siblings have passed away. So pretty intense. And then you got Hunter Biden dealing with his drug issues, dealing with, these people you probably shouldn't be hanging out with if your father's president, but they don't care, man. They don't even know. They don't even know. They don't even want to know. Whatever. Jennifer Marie, what if I want to do improvements to a current home? What loan is the best for that? Okay, so there's not a whole lot of home improvement loans. There's not a whole lot of programs you can go to. One very popular renovation loan is the 203K, which does piggyback on FHA. So that means you will have mortgage insurance. That does mean that it is government insured, blah, blah, blah. But you can do a renovation loan, and the renovation loan will let you go up to, I think, I gotta recall this, guys. I don't really remember it cold, but I think you can get up to a certain amount without jumping through a lot of hoops, and then beyond that amount, there's more hoops to jump through, and I think it's $30,000. I have to look into it. Don't quote me on that. But I think once you hit $30,000 or above, you have to go a little bit further with some due diligence. A little bit of a hard loan to do because there's a lot of moving pieces, but can absolutely be done. The other ways that people are getting home improvements done by financing is cash out refinances. So all you're going to do is take your current loan, refinance it by taking the original amount you owe, however much money you want to take out. Let's say you want to take $100,000 out, put that into a new loan, wrap it up with a new payment. Here you go. One payment, 30 years, you're done. Or whatever term you choose. You can choose 25 years, 20 years, whatever you can get approved for and whatever you want. Beyond that, you'd be doing a different kind of loan, which is called a HELOC, Home Equity Line of Credit. So all you're going to do, it's a separate loan. So you have your primary loan over here. You get the HELOC, and the HELOC operates like a credit card. So you get a limit. Let's say it's a $100,000 limit, same thing, okay? What'll happen is they're gonna wire $100,000 into your account, and now you have $100,000. But let's say you don't want to use it yet. Let's say you're planning on doing some upgrades a month from now, 2 months from now. You take that $100,000, you put it back into the account. How much is your mortgage payment? 0. How much money do you owe at this moment? 0. Okay. Now you're gonna do your renovations. You're gonna start with the kitchen, okay? And the kitchen needs cabinets, $10,000 in cabinets. So you go to your HELOC account and you take out $10,000. Guess what you're making a payment on now? Only the $10,000. Okay? Only the $10,000. $90,000 is still in this account. You're only making a payment on $10,000. And let's just say between the time you took that money out until you're about to take money again, you've made some payments. Let's say you've made $2,000 in payments. Your balance is only $8,000. You're only making payments on $8,000. Well, let's just say you went to Vegas the next weekend and you won money. You come home, you pay off that money. $8,000 is now gone. You don't owe that money. Guess how much is available again? $100,000. So it's just like a credit card. Once you pay it down, whatever's available is available. So pay it down, that's available. Use it, that's available. Pay it down, that's available. Use it, that's available. So just like a credit card, okay? It is kind of cool, Jennifer, because it has that kind of flexibility. But once again, it acts just like a credit card. So right now, financing is very tight. It's hard to get loans. It's harder to get credit cards. And if you do have credit cards, they're all asking about your finances right now because credit card companies, from my experience, are notorious for reducing balances when things start getting a little risky, when the economy starts getting a little shaky, like in 2008. So during the crash, I had credit cards. I had hundreds of $1,000s of limit, something like that. And one of my specific cards had a $20,000 balance one day, and then I went back the next, and I had a $5,000 limit. Had a $20,000 limit one day, went back the next day, had a $5,000 limit. They took away $15,000 of borrowing power from me, like that. So HELOCs act like credit cards. One day you could be like, I got $100,000 in available credit. I could use it if I want it. Until you go there the next day because the economy is a little shaky and it's down to $20,000. Or they close it entirely, which happens to me too sometimes because I don't use the credit cards. So you have to be active with your revolving accounts. Credit cards are revolving accounts. HELOCs are revolving accounts. You have to be active with them or they will reduce them or shut them down. Can you talk about your side hustle? What's up, Blue? How you doing, man? Girl, whoever you are. Side hustle, yeah. We do digital marketing, online marketing. What is digital marketing, you say? Okay, I'll give you an example. Let's say that you wanted to, this is a little distracting, and I have nothing to put there right now, so I'm just going to close this. Okay, so let's say that you had this cup, okay? You wanted to buy this Yeti tumbler, okay? You and I were at a party, and I was sipping on my cafe. And you were like, hey, man, I like that Yeti. And I'm like, yeah, it's pretty cool. You're like, I want to buy one too. And what I would do if I'm in digital marketing, I would say, cool, man, I'm going to send you a link so you can buy it. Text it to them, bing, okay? That link goes to that person, okay? And that person now goes to their phone. They click on it, takes them to Amazon or a website, and then they buy it, and it gets shipped to them. Yay, now they got their Yeti. Well, what you sent them is called an affiliate link, okay? So that link is affiliated to the company that sells them and you. So when that person bought this mug for, I don't know, $25, you make a commission. That's affiliate digital marketing. Digital meaning on digital platforms. It's online, it's on a website, it's on social media. It's digital. That's how you're able to access it. So digital, like Amazon is digital media. So, and they do digital marketing through their app. Okay, so that's in a gist what it is. No, you don't need certifications. You don't need to go to school, but it's like any profession on earth, including this one that I'm sitting in right now as a loan officer. Okay, no one trained me. No one taught me. Now, there was people that helped me throughout my career. I would go to a sales manager or I would go to someone that really knows loans well when I was young and brand new, and I would ask them, hey, What does FHA mean? How much down payment do I need? What's an APR? What's an RPA? You know, all the new stuff, okay? But there was really no one to show you step by step by step. When you get hired at a company like Walmart or Target or Amazon or HP or all these companies where you clock in, they will teach you step by step of how to do their job, how to do that job, that particular job. Because you are a intricate piece of their puzzle. So basically they already have a puzzle with this one cutout, and you're that cutout and fits there perfect. You're a piece of their puzzle. When it comes to running your own business, you are a piece of that puzzle, but you are every piece of that puzzle, which means you know the marketing, you know the advertising, you know the cost of acquisition, you know the ROI, you know the programs that are being used, how much in expenses you're paying every month. There's so many pieces, okay? So just know that when you're doing these side hustles, whether it's the one that we do or another one, or even if you're making tacos or baking cakes or washing cars, it's all very difficult once you try to turn it into a business, okay? That being said, yeah, we'll help you. We'll definitely help you. Absolutely. You'll have my phone number. You have Lee's phone number. You have access to us. We've already been through a lot of the hurdles and a lot of the issues when it comes to the setting everything up, so we can definitely help you. Will we do everything for you? Absolutely not. Just like if you started a car wash business, I wouldn't go out there and wash the car for you, but I would say, hey, use this soap because it's the best, breaks down the dirt faster, easier to rinse off, and it ultimately gets the job done sooner, faster, better. So that kind of advice, not actually going out there and armor rolling the tires and cleaning the dash and stuff. So we won't do that, but we definitely will give you the advice. We'll definitely be there by your side. We'll definitely make sure that you succeed. And this is a big deal, guys. It's a really big deal, these side hustles. I don't care which one you do. I'd like for you to do ours so we can be involved together, but it doesn't matter to me. The point of us doing side hustles only has to do with one thing, and that's buying houses. Now, if it turns into other things for you guys, if it turns out you're able to buy the car of your dreams, you're able to take your family on the trip that you've always dreamed of taking them on to Hawaii, maybe it's all the islands and the Bahamas, whatever it is, okay? The main purpose for us was for people to be able to buy houses. We identified that across the nation, single people find it very difficult to buy houses. So how do they buy houses? They got to make more money. But they already work a full-time job at Amazon. But they have kids they have to pick up from school at 3 o'clock, and then they have homework and dinner. But the kids have sports. But I'm watching my mom because she's sick. But my grandma lives. You know, everybody has all these responsibilities where they just can't break away to do something entirely different. That's where this comes in. Okay, these are our feeds on TikTok. So please screenshot this, follow us, like us, and if you decide to join, you're going to be doing pretty much the same because you're promoting and you're sharing with the world how this can benefit you. And people do it different. Everyone does it a little different. Some people do it from the motivational side, like Zig Ziglar. You can have everything you want as long as you help enough people get what they want. You know, stuff like that. Or they hit you with like the David Goggins, you're a piece of shit unless you wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and run 100,000 miles and then you have your coffee. You know, earn your sunrise, you know, stuff like that. So everyone approaches it different, and some people approach it from the business perspective, actually selling stuff. They're like, hey man, I have this Yeti for $25. It's the best Yeti I've ever seen. You can go to my website and you can buy it. So a lot of different ways that you can attack it. All that to say, if you do this for 2 years, you can absolutely use that as income as long as you file it on your taxes, and you will have more money to buy the home of your dreams. That's why we're doing this. We're helping people buy houses, okay? Now let me get back to these questions, and then we got to run. Okay, thank you for explaining. Oh, wow, that's kind of cool. Can you tell me a 30-year, cut it down in half with the time? Tosh AC, hello. Tell me how a 30-year mortgage cut it down half the time. What is the process? Okay, so half the time, I think, is 2 extra payments a year. Don't quote me on that, but I'll give you the process, okay? So if your mortgage payment is $2,000 a month, you have to make 2 extra payments per year, which is $4,000. So you take $4,000, divide that by 12, and you're going to come up with like $340 I don't know, $366 a month. Okay. So what you do is you make your $2,000 mortgage payment, and then you make an extra $336 or 66, I don't know how much it is, extra $300 and some odd a month payment right behind that to just principal. If you do that for 12 months, you'll make 2 extra payments per year. If you do that for the next 15 years, your mortgage entirely should be paid off. And that's not the exact math, but that's the concept, okay? You're just making an extra payment every single month so that you can pay down that principal faster, pay less interest, and pay it off faster. And that's why you're paying it off faster, guys, because you're putting it all to principal, which is bringing down that amount, which is really, really shrinking the amount of interest that you pay, which is allowing you to pay it off sooner. Got a couple more questions. Thanks, Lead Around the Finance Man. I'm here for you. So if you Lead Around the Finance Man, if you need help with mortgages or financing or buying your next house, make sure you call Chris and Lee, and don't call yourself because that's weird. You got it, Tosh. Here to help. Wreckage, just making sure the roadmap to riches is the side hustle, right? Not realtor side hustle. You are correct. You'll end up at the same spot, but I would just go to roadmap to riches and figure it out from there. So what the roadmap to riches, just so you guys know, it's exactly what it says. It is the roadmap to creating and starting your own online digital marketing business. It's the roadmap. So if I disappear and you can never see me again, you holding the recipe, literally holding the recipe. So if you went to KFC and you said, hey KFC, I need to know all the spices inside of this recipe, they would say, nope, you cannot have this. This is Colonel Sanders' recipe and it's not yours and we will never share it with you. Okay, got it. Reason why he doesn't want to share it is because it's what made him billions of dollars over all these years. It is his value, okay? The roadmap to riches, it's the recipe too. It is the recipe. But here's the truth. Here's what I found out. Here's what I've realized in all my years of living on this planet, because I come from another one, is that you can give anybody the recipe. Do you know what the odds of them baking that cake is? Slim to none. So if Elon Musk came out and said, all right, world, I'm on X and I'm letting everyone know on X through X, so it's exposed to the whole world of how to become a billionaire. Step 1, do this. Step 2, do this. Step 3, do this. Step 4, and this is coming from the richest man on earth. Step 5, 6, 7, however many steps there is. You know how many people are going to follow that? Not many. And those that are going to follow it are already following it, because there are billionaires being made almost every single day. There's always new billionaires. Mark, what's his name from Facebook, became a billionaire one day. Mark Cuban became a billionaire one day. Zuckerberg is what I was thinking of. So everybody has the ability, but no one's going to follow the recipe. Not very many, at least. Very small. So the roadmap to riches is the recipe. So if you never spoke to another person about digital online marketing, you have it all in this roadmap. It tells you step by step of what you need to do in order to build this business. And if you get stuck, we can help. But I think that's it, guys. I got to go. I got to run. Been here for about an hour. Got some work to do. Got some people to get back to. I see some text messages rolling in, so I'm going to give you guys some calls. You're right. Thanks, Finance Man. Great live. No! Doesn't want me to go. I'm that talented, guys. I'm that loved by the millions and millions and millions of times my mom has seen me. All right, guys. Make it a great one. See you guys tomorrow.